Today I want to talk about the Frost Tower and why you should never ever build one of these in multiplayer. For single player or for some sort of tower defense game mode, it's totally fine. But for everything else, especially multiplayer, never ever waste resources on these. How much does it cost to make one of these? Well, first off, you're going to need a build power tower for 120 prismarine. And then to build a Frost Tower, you're going to need 400 diamond. I don't know about you, but I would rather have skeleton archers. So here's my problems with the Frost Tower. First off, the Frost Tower does very little damage. It will take a long time to kill these enemy mobs. But on the good side, it does freeze them for a little bit. It freezes them only slightly longer than a Frost Trap, and mind you, a Frost Trap only costs 125 stone in multiplayer. So they are way better. Now here's another problem with the Frost Tower. They have the same range as the regular tower, so you can't like outrange walls and other towers. You're better off just building a regular arrow tower, because the arrow tower can be boosted by the spyglass building. The spyglass overlook will boost the range of all your towers, except it does not boost the range of the Frost Tower. The Frost Tower cannot benefit by any structures. It can't be buffed by masonry, kaboomery, spyglass, or battle drum. This thing can receive no buffs at all whatsoever. So it is not that good in that regard. Also, there's a few other problems with it. When an enemy mob is frozen, and if they take damage, like say you have regular towers like I do, like anyone would do, shooting at enemies, as soon as a regular tower hits a frozen target, they unfreeze. But it's even worse than that. So here's the real problem with it is, if you're going to have a big tower farm like this, you're going to have a kaboomery. And what the kaboomery does, it says it adds explosive damage to your arrows, but what it really does is it lights enemies on fire, which is really good against zombies, as you can see here. The zombies are, when they catch on fire enough, they panic and run around, and they get real slow. But the problem with the Frost Tower is if a target is on fire, it's taking damage per second, and when it gets hit by the frost little square, the frost cube, the fire immediately lets them move again, which completely nullifies the entire point of the tower in the first place. So that is either because they programmed it where fire means you can't be frozen, or the more simpler reason is that because it takes damage over time, it takes damage, therefore it is freed from its frozen prison. But if you use this and you want to freeze a target for some reason and then not attack it with anything, it might be cool for that, but there is absolutely no practical use at all whatsoever in multiplayer to ever build that for 400 diamonds. That is a lot of diamonds, it's a lot of upgrades. You have to build multiple of these diamond improvements right here. You need at least 4 of these. That is 100 prismarine right there. That's another 120 right there. 220 prismarine just to be able to build this silly tower. It's ridiculous. It also takes a while to farm 400 diamond if you're the only one gathering and your team is off doing other things, which may or may not, may or may not even be diamond on the map. I mean, I have a jagged plains over here on this map, but other than that, the Frost Tower, it costs too much, it does such little damage, and its effect is nullified by all of your other towers. There's no reason to ever have one. Just don't bother building these at all. They're garbage, they're trash. They're terrible, and again, they're one of the most useless towers in the entire game. So don't build these. If you see someone on your team build this, just the only reason that you would ever build this, I'm going to tell you right now, use it as a bank of diamonds. So get this, right? Let's say, you know, I have 226 diamonds right now, and I want to spawn some skellies, right? I'm going to spawn me some skeletons, and you know, skeletons cost diamond, right? So if I'm going to spawn some skeletons. So let's go ahead and just let this build up real quick. This is the only use you will ever see of these Frost Towers. If you have an abundance of resources and you need to spend it on something, like say you're supply captain, you can't build skeletons right now. Well, okay, so I'm low on diamonds now because I've built all these skeletons, right? Now I have no diamonds. What am I going to do? Well, this is 400 diamonds. I could put this at my base, right? You know, in case piglins attack or whatever. And once this thing finishes unbuilding, I will receive 400 diamonds so that I can suddenly build even more skeletons. So what you can do is, if you're playing with a friend or whatever, or if this game ever adds voice chat, you could tell someone, okay, sell the Frost Tower now as you push out with your skeletons. And then as soon as that Frost Tower finishes selling, you will receive those diamonds. So you'll be able to push with even more skeletons. without the need to go gather, essentially. Because, you know, on really long turtle games, the diamonds are going to be gone. So there we go. We just got 400 more diamonds. I'm going to go ahead and spend them on more skeletons. And we're all happy. I'm going to tell the skeletons to get behind the kaboomery there. And that way they can just attack anything that approaches. So, with that said, never, ever, ever build one of these stupid frost towers. They are absolute trash. Just use them as a resource bank. But make sure that you have enough resources, because if I sell this, I have 300 diamond right now. I can only carry like 500, so I'm going to lose 200 diamond from that by selling that. And it doesn't kick you over the resource cap, because that would be a really easy way to cheese it. And it's a good thing that you can't do it that way. But with that said, I'm Soul Benji. I hope you learned something today in today's video. I've got a lot more Minecraft Legends videos coming out for you. If you want to learn this game, make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to teach it to you. Videos coming out really, really soon. Also, on the right side of your screen, there's a video you should absolutely click. And if you don't click it, next time you go buy ice cream, it's you're going to get, you know, not so much ice cream in your scoop. Sorry.